In this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover, we talk about book cover art, gross special abilities, teasing book 2, being into mischief, and asking the important questions. Who is saving the wine? Where is all the weed? And where are we going to the bathroom? In our chat about Into the Mist with author PC Cast. It's very important. Hey everybody, welcome to Fictional Hangover, a podcast about young adult and new adult books, series, authors, and voice actors that is full of spoilers. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire, and today we're going to talk to PC Cast, author of Into the Mist. Yee! Joe, it's gonna be so good!
I love her so much. Oh my god, okay. Control the fangirling again. This is like the 40th time we've talked to you. We're BFFs. Like, I don't know why I keep fangirling.
Oh my god, you talk to me all the time.
I know. I just can't help it. You're just too great. Calm down, me. Calm down.
I love you, and I love your lipstick and your eyeshadow, but especially your lipstick is so perfect.
Thank you. Yes,
with
it's
the book.
Oh yeah, totally done on purpose. It's from a company called Notoriously Morbid, and I need to send you a link. And so now I'm going to have to send a link to everyone so everyone can buy this glorious lipstick.
Notoriously Morbid.
I mean, the easiest thing would be if they sponsored us.
It would be.
And then everybody would know exactly who they were.
Everyone would be Notoriously Morbid.
Yes,
so,
I agree with that.
It would be really good. So we should just jump right into our game of Would You Rather, because we've got to get through Would You Rather so I can scream at you and tell you my theories for the next one, and you can tell me.
Oh, good. Okay, and I finished. The next one is done now too. Ooh. Out of the Dawn is done.
Oh.
And the cover is so exquisitely beautiful. It might be my favorite cover of all time.
Oh, but I really liked this cover.
I like this cover too. The next cover though is like Crooked Lane just outdid themselves.
Really?
And it was 2 incarnations too. The first one they sent me looked like, and this, I don't mean this in a terrible way either. It looked like a 1970s album cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it did. And it had 3 women on it, and I could tell who was supposed to be who. And I sent back notes about their hair because some of their hair was wrong. Mm-hmm. Like they didn't have Amani's hair. Like, you know, I think Amani has really long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in book 2, she's a woman of color. So I know she's stressing about her hair out there in the middle of this apocalypse. She started wearing in a beautiful braid that starts at her crown. Ooh. And goes back. Yes. It's really cool. So I had some notes about that, and I had some notes about the colors used, but they came back to me and they were like, we're scrapping this and we're starting all the way over. And I was like, all right. And then the cover, my agent and I were both like, holy crap, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to show you guys.
Oh, can't wait.
Do we know when there's going to be a cover reveal?
No, I don't. I don't for sure know, but after the recording's over, I have a picture of my phone. I could give you guys, just you two.
We won't share it with anyone.
Sorry about everyone else.
No. Amanda, we might actually get a secret for a change.
I know. I'm dying right now.
It's a secret. Okay, so what's our Would You Rathers?
Yes, Would You Rather?
Yes, so on social media we asked, would you rather be able to grow plants with your blood or be able to heal quickly? Resoundingly across Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok, everybody wants to be able to heal quickly. And this isn't just small numbers. This is, the lowest was 80%.
Yeah. See, especially, during an apocalypse, it's a really good, thing to have, the ability to heal. Of course, if you're not able to grow any food, you're fucked either way.
You're fucked. Yeah.
So what I want to do is be with someone like my group, where some people have the ability to grow, and then some people have, well, as you guys will know, because you read the first book, and this even gets more pronounced in the second book. The changes that happen to the women are all based on who they were to begin with.
Yeah.
And you see more and more of that. And then there's some real bad guys in book 2.
There's already bad guys.
I love a good bad guy, though.
They're such assholes.
And
They're
pricks.
They're horrible. Yeah. Well, you're gonna see a couple main ones come back in book 2, and it's bad. And they also have special abilities that are, may I just say, I think the grossest special abilities that I've ever written in any book, and that includes Neferet in the House of Night.
Oh, but I love. You're speaking my love language.
I know that. Okay. I always try to scare myself and gross myself out. And I was just like, especially in the climactic scene, I was like this. Literally, I wish I should have taken a couple pictures, except that I look like, sanctuary. I was like this. And I'd be like, okay, it's real gross.
Yes.
I think you guys will love it.
I can't wait.
So I think I guess I would want the ability to heal too, just because it's the apocalypse. But I also happen to be really good with plants. So I'm already good with plants, and I already have like big garden knowledge and that kind of stuff. So I can also grow. That's my.
I'm not very good with plants. I try. I think I've got them all addicted to coffee.
Oh, because you put your grounds in there?
I put my grounds, and when I have extra coffee in the pot, I let it go cold and pour that over the top as well. And it's the only thing that makes my chili plant actually, flourish.
Well, I have plants everywhere. You probably can't see behind me. There's a whole room full of plants. And here, I'll just do this real quick.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you don't need to use your blood for that.
No,
I have tons
you're
of plants.
fine.
It's just a tiny piece of plants in my house. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. What are you going with, Amanda?
I don't know. I feel like I always choose healing powers, what with this stupid fucking diabetes and all. But
I think we mentioned this in the first time. What if this change, because you find out, especially in the second book, that this change is really orchestrated by the earth herself. And the old gods are awakening. So I would imagine that, what if your stupid diabetes was fixed?
Yeah. That would be great.
See? And in book 2, we talk about Doc Hillary is the doctor at Timberline.
Yeah.
And she rejoins the group. This is not a big spoiler, because they kind of planned it anyway. They rejoin the core group in 2. Yeah, so we get Doc Hillary again, and Doc Hillary is gay. She's a lesbian. Her wife died. Remember, in the
hot tub.
That was terrible. That was
So
some Final Destination stuff right there.
I hope she was having a bunch of mimosas and smoking weed when that happened. But Doc Hillary, when they join the group, the women are all they're talking about how they probably will never really know who instigated these bombs. And so a bunch of the women were saying, like Stella and Mercury and everyone were saying things like, I wish I knew where they came from, just so I know. And someone else was like, I wish I knew for sure, like, why does it do that to men? And exactly what is it going to do to us? Because you find out in book 2 that yes, you can get women can be immersed in the mist more than one time, but there is a ending point where you're no longer really human. Then you change. Yeah. So, like Mercury's like, I wonder, I want to know what, how long, how many times can we be exposed? And then Hillary said, I want to know what it's doing to my community.
Mm-hmm.
And then they discuss, she's like, is it biologically based?
Mm-hmm.
So how about our trans sisters? Are they alive? Are they dead? What's happening?
Yeah.
And what, I don't think this is giving away too much to talk about this. And what Stella immediately says, Stella's our seer. She just knows things. And she says, yes, they're fine. She said, it's spirit. She said, it's spirit.
Oh.
It's not.
You have answered the question we had in our discussion. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I already knew that in book 1. I already knew that.
Right.
And my editor and I discussed if I should put it in book 1. But then after I wrote it, and you know how the action is like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It's going like that. And there are a group of teachers from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I don't have any trans women or trans men even in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like running around trying to survive. So to input a big discussion about what it's doing to the LGBTQ plus communities would have been, I felt like, and my editor agreed with me, that it would have been very forced and very like fake and very like, well, PC Cast had to put that in there because, she forced that. And no, I want it to be, I don't want, it's just like when I have any character who is anywhere, with the community, it's not like, ooh, I had a gay character. No, it's like, oh, that's who this character is.
Well, that's what you did with the doctor. It was a natural conversation where she
and
mentioned, my wife died, she was in the hot tub. It was the same with Sim as well.
And
Mentioned
the
my
truck
husband.
driver. Sim, the truck driver.
Yeah. It was just natural because that's what it should be.
Yeah, they're just normal people.
It's just normal people. Okay. So we decided that I would, and I said, I know that there's a place in book 2 organically when it's going to happen, especially when Hillary rejoins the group. Mm. And we're talking community then. And so that's where it is. So, but I already knew the answer in book 1. Book 2, I think book 2, I love book 1. I love that world, but book 2 just blew me away. I had such a good time with that. It's real crazy too.
I can't wait.
I did wonder. I haven't read/listened to it as much as Amanda has. I've only done it twice.
I'm sorry, I'm obsessed.
But I was wondering if when they breathe in the mist or are affected by it, because they have that healing ability, like quite naturally, if they had cancer or if they had diabetes or any kind of chronic illness or something, would it cure my eczema?
I would think so. Okay, you would think so. Well, if you were Gemma, if you were Gemma or Hillary, and you find out in the next book that Gemma has unique healing. She has a unique healing ability. She heals people more physically. Mm-hmm. And you find out after you get to know Doc Hillary better, who is based, by the way, on one of my besties here, who is a doctor, is my doctor, and her name is Hillary. Okay. I try not to do that very much anymore because I got in so much trouble during House of Night. But sometimes I still do it. But I tell the people first. I'm like, Hillary, may I put you in a book? I'm not killing you this book, but you're going to be gay and I did kill your wife. I'm sorry. And she's like, okay, fine.
Shit happens.
It's fine.
But Hillary, and because I know her especially, she's always very concerned about women's mental health, the whole spectrum of our being, how our emotional health ties into our physiology. And so her abilities are more emotional healing.
Oh, yeah.
As you come to understand her better in book 2.
That's going to be
so
good.
if you were a healer in the book, and let's say you have eczema or you have stupid diabetes, I would imagine that would be healed for you. Now, I don't know if someone else would who doesn't have healing as their primary thing.
Yeah. See, this is why I would hope I would like to be the healer. I'm not very good with plants. People who know what they're doing need to do that. Don't let me get involved. I'll cook them, but I'm not good at growing them. But yeah, if I had the healing ability, like be able to heal quickly, I would hope I'd also be able to heal others quickly.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's my pick for this particular Would You Rather. I don't want to be hoarding that. I want to be able to help.
Well, we find out that Gemma's
Freaking love
injured.
Gemma.
I love Gemma. Gemma's actually, she has a hard time in book 2. And we find out that it's more difficult for her to heal herself than to heal others.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's
she
how it
can.
typically
It
goes.
just happens slower. Yeah. It's just at a slower rate and kind of a lesser rate.
I was very worried after she healed Mercury from the huge wound. I was like, no. And I just had this awful image of like the wound transferring to Gemma and then her bleeding out. And I was so worried. And I'm sitting there at work listening to her going...
Yeah, you were right to be worried, and you're going to see in book 2 why.
No! My precious.
I will tell you that Gemma will eventually be okay, though.
She's such a badass. Like,
She's great. I love Gemma.
I wish I had her confidence and her mentality and her just drive at her age. She's going to like rule this new world.
She is.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's awesome, especially as she recovers from being left by her mother.
Bitch, sorry.
Yeah,
Right.
fuck
Yeah.
that bitch. Hope
Amani-
she died somewhere.
She did. Amani is like, what? I lost my babies. I'd do anything to get them back, and you're leaving her to go chase after your husband, who is probably dead.
I would love to see
Stupid.
Amani go full rage. I can imagine her
Oh,
temper
it'd be
is
great.
like mama bear dragon kind of hybrid. Just
Yes.
breathing fire with lots of fangs.
Yeah.
Amani is Amani's a big part of book 2,
Oh,
and
good. I like
Amani is exposed to the mist more.
Ooh. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Okay, next, would you rather?
I don't even know if I answered that question. I'm growing plants. I'll do anything with blood because I think it's great and gross and fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Next question.
You'll dance in the rain. You'll purposely cover yourself in blood and then dance in the rain just to make it drop everywhere.
Yes, 1,000 times yes. Doing
Okay,
it.
next would you rather?
Would you rather pee on the side of the road in the snow or in the rain?
Don't eat the old snow.
That one's really hard because I don't want to be cold, but yet if it's in the rain, if it's in the snow, you can just brush it off and not be wet when you get back in the truck. But then I think maybe the snow, because you can just brush it off real fast, because I'm gonna pee fast. I'm gonna brush it off real fast, but if you're peeing in the rain, you're getting all wet too.
Yeah.
Like especially that one time when Mercury pees and it's raining and she sees the baby goat.
Yeah.
The goat spirit, yeah, and she has to she's like holding a thing,
Like a
what is
coat
it,
or
a jacket
something,
over her
yeah.
head, yeah, Gemma's jacket over her head. I'm gonna say snow, because
There's less dignity in the rain.
Where are you peeing? Are you peeing in snow or rain?
I'm peeing in the snow because you know where it is.
Okay.
You can keep
If
track.
it's in the rain, you don't know where it's draining to. You can't see any of that. You know it's isolated in one little area, and you can just make a little hole, pee in it, do your business, and then you can come back up. There we go, pat pat, done. Plus, you've got the snow already, and you can put it in your hands, and you can have a nice little hand wash with it.
That's
With the
true.
rain, it's not that easy because we're in apocalypse. There's no reason to neglect hygiene.
Right. It's very important.
Right. And my teachers would agree with you.
Of course. Now, see, I'm going to go for the rain. Because you know what I'm going to do when I squat and pee? I'm going to pee all fucking over myself. And then I'm going to be able to wash it off in the rain, or my pants are going to be wet and no one's going to know that I
There
peed
is
myself.
that. Okay, there is that. Mhm, mhm.
Yep. Peeing all over myself. I don't think I could do it. I'm not.
Okay.
I don't have that
That's a good
skill.
point, too.
I had this awful image when I was listening to it. And
Was it of
being-
me peeing on myself?
No, it wasn't. It was, all the peeing in the rain and everything like that. And then I was listening to something else, and they were talking about make sure you get feminine hygiene products because men don't think about periods. And I was like, oh, imagine you're peeing, you're on your period, and then you look down and you're like, oh, look, there's a bunch of wildflowers. Oh, get the tampons, get the tampons.
Yeah, that's why they talk about them they talk about tampons. They look for tampons in Madras. at that store, and she's like very gross. So she's, well, not gross. I don't think being on your period is gross. I don't mean that.
Right.
I mean that Eva Cruz is gross. The mayor there is like, oh, no, we don't have any tampons. All we have are the cups.
Yeah, all we've got are cups, so I guess we're gonna have to keep your blood.
So that was the gross part. Yeah.
Yes. I was so looking like
the bleach water.
When we had our mini episode before and you were like, you're like, well, there is a scene where we're like, menstruation, and I just like wanted to squeal about it, but I couldn't because we couldn't spoiler. So yeah, that part, I loved it. It was terrible, but I loved it.
Yes.
I'm just glad. I mean, we said this about another book when we were talking about people going to the bathroom, and I think there's someone inside your house, and they go to the pee a lot, and there's a character who is menstruating and reaching for her sanitary products, and it's a small detail, but it's good to have.
Yes.
Those moments in the book, going to the toilet, being on your period, because it's
real
and it's real and it I say it sounds ridiculous. It's not ridiculous. It's a pleasure to have those little tiny things in there about that realism, especially when you're in a fantastical world, you're creating all this magic and this apocalypse and all this kind of genius. I adored this book so much. That they're still talking about menstruation. It's like yes.
Yeah,
because it's normal and it's real.
That's one of the reasons that I wrote it, and it's one of the reasons I wrote my very first book, Divine by Mistake, was that I love fantasy, but I never saw, there wasn't anyone in the fantasies like if I was pulled into a fantasy world, I want to know where the toilets are. Where am I? Do you have tampons? And I think Shannon in Divine by Mistake even says, my God, I'm going to have to use some kind of rabbit pelt or something wrapped between my legs. Oh, I want to know. And you're going to drink too much wine. And no one ever mentions that or they used to never mention that in high fantasy. And same thing with contemporary apocalypse novels.
Yeah.
It's like, who's saving the wine? Where are they going to the bathroom? And what about the weed? Okay. And also let's go to all the pharmacies we can, because we have a limited amount and a limited number of antibiotics and all that kind of stuff. And your next stop needs to be the fucking library. Okay.
Yes.
Get your butt back into the stacks and pull everything you can about how to survive. Forage on local plants and all that.
Map.
Kind of stuff. Maps. Yes. Maps and all that stuff. So that's why my people do all that stuff. They raid all those stores and grab all that.
I love it.
But those type of moments are helping people plan their apocalypse.
Right. Yes.
That's right.
You're giving those hints and tips, so you're setting people up for the future. It's great. Next question. Would you rather stay at Timberline or leave with Stella and Mercury?
Oh, I totally leave. Timberline, I know because I live here. Not like an hour away from Timberline. I know that it's like still snowing up there for most of the year. And okay, they have a grow station down in the basement, but that grow station is only going to be viable as long as the natural gas line keeps feeding the generator. What happens when that stops? You are in the middle of a place where you don't have a real grow season up there on the side of Mount Hood. And not only that, the building is not structurally sound.
Right.
And in book 2, you find out the building is not structurally sound. And still there's still like 5 people decide to stay there. They decide not to leave and trek across the country. But no, and plus you have a seer. You have Stella who's a seer. That's what you know so far. When they left Timberline, you know that Stella's a seer. And you also know that like 3 of the characters can grow crops with their blood. So I'd be going with them. They have that truck and a camper shell. They have
And
a
they have
firearm.
at least 70 bottles of wine.
At
They
least.
have a lot of
And the
wine.
whiskey.
And
And the
Whiskey,
tequila.
tequila, yeah. And weed. They took weed with them too.
yes.
Well,
I
they had
did
a big,
sandwiches as well. I'm going with the
Yes.
sandwiches.
a whole lot of sandwiches. There are a lot of sandwiches. And Stella is one hell of a cook. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Stella and Mercury.
mhm.
Definitely.
I'm asking Stella first what she
Right.
suggests that I do. And
Yeah.
I will follow her advice. So
Yeah, me
this
too.
might be a bit of a cop-out, but I don't care because it's our Would You Rathers and we're the Lords and Masters of all we survey. So I'm asking Stella, and if she tells me to stay at Timberline for now and come,
I'm gonna stay my ass at Timberline.
then I will stay my ass
Right.
at Timberline. If I go, I go. I follow Stella. I hope
too.
she says I can go with them.
Me too. Even though they have a really hard time in Madras. So,
Well, I don't think Timberline's going to be that easy either.
right?
So
Yeah.
it's a
And
rock and a hard place situation.
some more sciencey stuff happens in book 2 when you find out that the green mist, because of, think about what happens when you cook in a high altitude. You have to change things boil quicker,
Mm-hmm.
faster. You have to change your recipes and stuff. So the green mist is more unpredictable in high elevations too.
Ooh. God, I can't wait.
Right.
Okay, next question.
Next question.
This is the worst question I almost think that we have ever asked in the history of Fictional Hangover. Would you rather be friends with Alvin fucking Rutland or be one of the mayor's cronies? There is no good answer to this question.
There isn't.
Okay, I can't be friends with Alvin fucking Rutland. I think I would be a mayor's crony plotting my escape.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's a good answer.
If
You
she's
say
such a
escape, I say coup.
Yes.
see, yeah, yeah. But Madras is not a town I would want to rule because
no.
And we'll get more into that in book 2, but and we've seen this in our own apocalypse, that there is a certain type of person who is okay with believing lies just because it keeps them comfortable.
Yeah.
No.
And to me, that's what Madras is full of. You have some exceptions, but they usually get their throats slashed and fed to the tomatoes.
Yeah.
So I would not want to stay in Madras, but so that I wouldn't plan a coup because I don't want to be in charge of those people.
No, I want to plan a coup, take charge, and tear that place to ribbons. Just it's a bad place to settle down because it's so exposed to everywhere. You've got Alvin fucking Rutland down the road. He is going to come. This is going to be Walking Dead style shit's going to go on where
they totally get together. Al and Eva totally get together. You guys, never mind. I'm not supposed to say anything about Al. Never mind. Let's not talk about Al in book 2.
I hope he has a horrible, disgusting, grotesque, painful death. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
I promise you he does.
Yes.
And so does she, by the way.
Thank goodness.
You're welcome.
Because I'm going to slit her throat.
That was the part that I was just so grossed out when I was writing. That the big conclusion scene, the big climactic scene, I grossed myself out so badly.
I can't wait. Okay, so look, I don't want to be friends with Alvin fucking Rutland because fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a crony either. I just want to eat all the tomatoes in Madras.
It's people tomatoes, though.
I don't care. Tomatoes are my favorite thing.
I'm convinced that it's Soylent Green. I'm worried that when they say the meat is good for the plants,
no,
I don't think it's just good for the plants. It's Soylent Green.
You can't call people meat without immediately everyone going, oh God, those hamburgers they just ate. Oh God. Yeah. Oh God, they're people burgers.
The apocalypse would make me vegetarian, I'll tell you that much.
I'm a vegan if you don't count. I mean, I'll eat some eggs once in a while, and once in a while I'll eat sheep or goat cheese, but other than that, I haven't eaten meat since 2012.
Oh,
and
wow.
that whole thing grosses me out.
Yeah.
Okay. Disgusts
Ugh.
me. So,
I love cheese so much.
I love cheese so much too, which is why I got real sick because I should not eat cheese. And during our apocalypse, I decided when I couldn't write at the beginning, I would just sit and watch TV and eat cheese, drink wine, and smoke weed. And 20 pounds later, okay, my body was like, no, stop it, you crazy old woman. And so then I had to stop again. So
Perfect.
but I didn't eat I didn't eat cow cheese anyway, because that grosses me out. I know too much about the industry. Ugh. Yeah. Sheep, goat, buffalo, anything not cow.
Halloumi. I love squeaky cheese.
I know. Cheese is good. Okay, next question.
Next question. This is the last one. Ooh, this one's very serious.
It is.
Oh,
Very
I'm
serious face. Would you rather dance with Ford or cook with Stella? And what kind of dance are you doing with Ford?
God, that's a hard question. Because Stella is based after one of my best friends. I have cooked with Stella a lot. And that's a lot of fun. And Ford is based on a man friend of mine. And so I also happen to know he's fun to dance with. Oh, that's a difficult question. You know what? I'm going with my girl. I'm going to cook with Stella. Guys can always be danced with, but I'm going with my girl.
Always
and I'm
fun.
talking elaborate cook too. She is a awesome chef, and she's been a restaurateur before.
Oh,
And I'm gonna cook with her in her cool house in Oklahoma, the one I mentioned that the Hotel California, the one that I had the truck driver mention and say that he stayed at her B&B, and she made the awesome breakfast. So I'm gonna cook with her in her awesome house.
Oh.
And then dance with Ford later, probably. But
I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to dance with Ford first. I'm going to dance. I'm going to work up an appetite. And then I'm going to go and cook with Stella.
Oh, I'm cooking with Stella. I think she could teach me so many things in the kitchen.
She's a great cook. Yeah.
She is the domestic goddess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then you can dance with us.
True. We have another good cook who comes in book 2, a man. A new male character who you guys will like a lot.
That's fun. That's exciting. Okay, that's
I'm
the
so
end
excited for book 2.
That's the end of Would You Rather. And now I have to go on. I have to immediately say, Ford is the manifestation of the Green Man. Yes, he is the Green Man. He is the horned god. Please tell me I'm not wrong, because that is exactly what I saw when she reached up and like stroked his hair and was like, "Oh fuck, is that a horn? Fuck."
I would say more than likely, yes. And also Kanonos and Lord of the Forest. Yes. He is manifesting all during the rite, the mini ritual, the mini gathering that at Madras she held with Ford. If you go back and look at his lines, what he says,
we were talking about this.
We were. That's what I specifically went to re-listen
I know.
with the thought in mind of Amanda's theory, and I was listening to that section. I was concentrating so much last night listening to it. She's right. She's right. She's totally right.
And it was so important when she was describing sending the little goat baby on. And she was like, no, it's the horned god. It's like, and the horns were so important. And I was like, oh my God. That was the second listen through, I think. Poor Karen.
Poor Karen. Karen was just like, it's Satan, I know it is. Karen ends up, by the end of book 2, Karen is just one of my very favorite characters. And I think, if not my favorite scene in book 2, one of my very favorite scenes in book 2 is Karen dancing.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Is she stoned?
Probably.
Because stoned Karen is one of my favorite characters.
Right? Stoned drunk Karen?
Yes.
It's like they say, it's like Stella and Mercury say, who knew Apocalypse Karen was so much more fun than regular Karen?
I want to know a bit more about Karen, actually, because we hear how her dad was very repressive and, cancelled her dreams.
You get to learn more about her.
Because I noticed every time she was talking about her husband or sons, the conversation got cut. And I was like, oh, there's something there. There's something there.
Yeah, you get to hear more. You hear more of that in book 2.
Good.
Yeah.
Does she have special map reading cartography powers? Because she was so into it as a child and she loves it so much.
No, her special powers are more that she is like a priestess.
Yeah.
She sees spirit. She sees the spirit in the world around us.
I was just wondering if it like manifested in other ways as well. Like she'd had diverging powers because obviously it was pulling from skills and abilities and interests.
She just was really good at that because she's a history teacher.
Yeah.
So she studied it and she really liked it. So, but she doesn't really have like extrasensory powers about that. It's like, who was it? Amani and Jenny they took that class, and so they know how to do the CB radio stuff. Mm-hmm. And they're good at it, but that's not really a power of hers. And like Amani she was an engineering minor, which really helps with building their Adobe homes in the cliff. But that's not really. But Amani is like the personification of Mother Earth.
Yeah. Okay.
She is everyone's mother and very connected with the earth. And she that happens more in book 2. She gets more into the mist.
Does make you wonder how far she can reach with her powers then. Like
it's cool. It's real cool. I like what happens with Amani.
I'm curious about something with Karen, and this is probably just because I listened to the book over and over and over again and couldn't stop listening.
Literally, she was on repeat. I had a message off and she said, I've just finished Into the Mist for the second time and I've just pressed play again.
Lorelei King is so awesome.
She was so great. She did such a good job. Yeah. So something that I thought of, and it's probably not true, and I thought maybe that would be neat, but when they are leaving Madras, and like Karen had said she had given her blood, but there's nothing special about my blood, but she didn't know she had powers then. So I was just wondering if there's like a sort of a delay, and like there was a time where one of the cronies was running up to tell Amber or the mayor, I can't remember, something, and I just thought, are they running up to say, hey, you know what, her blood is weird and maybe it's just taking a long time?
No, she's never manifested.
Okay.
She doesn't ever manifest. Some of them don't.
Okay.
Some of them just wholly. And I made Karen not manifest it. That you'll see the people who don't ever manifest any blood stuff and still have other abilities. Their other abilities are more kind of abstract too.
Okay. I just had a thought that, well, that would be really great, since like she was kind of, seems like she was a little bit behind everyone else. You know, she was so.
Well, Jenny can't either. Jenny doesn't accept.
Right. Yeah, but she needs to accept it. She was just so Jesus-y at the beginning, and she was just, there was a little bit of a delay before she really got on board with everything. So I thought, maybe
Karen goes through a whole thing, and she comes to a very good spiritual place by the end of book 2. She's very comfortable with who she is now.
That's good.
And excellent. She's still Christian, but she learns to honor, and she also finds biblical backup for this. Okay. She learns to honor basically her neighbors, honor those around her and the beliefs around her. And she also even figures out a way to be okay biblically with the earth being ensouled. So yeah, she's what happens to her is what I wish would happen to more Christians, like all of them. Good luck with that.
Can we go out and proselytize with your books? Is that appropriate?
I wish.
I don't like proselytizing, but is it okay
I
if
like
we
proselytizing, but
it's just making sure that they're easily accessible, that they're on the bookshelves, and that people can read them. Because I will say, in the UK, and it's a damn disgrace that it's difficult to get hold of some of these books. I have found Into the Mist in Forbidden Planet, but it's not in my regular bookshop. To which I scowled at the bookseller. Like,
Well, Crooked Lane is a smaller press.
yeah.
So their distribution, even though they go through, who did they distribute through? Harper, maybe? Whoever they distribute through is a big press, but they're a small press. So their distribution isn't as wide as like, you should be able to find like Omen's Bite and Spells Trouble like everywhere because it's Macmillan, and Macmillan's a big press.
Yeah.
So that's why they're not doing it purposely. The bookstores aren't doing it purposely. It's just that it's a smaller distribution.
No, but Amanda always gets a text message off me pointing with a picture of your book and pointing at it going, I found a PC Cast book. And she's always, yay.
Yeah, and I'm surrounded by stacks of them. Like, yeah, I've got all of them multiple times. And I will say that I put when your copy came in at the library, because I order adult fiction, so of course I pre-ordered it years and years and hundreds of years ago. But when it came in, I put it prominently on display, and it was gone like the next day. So
good.
Yay.
Well, the cover's so compelling.
It is.
The cover's beautiful.
Cover is gorgeous. I love it.
It is.
Okay, so I need to ask.
Yes.
Where did the story of drinking the pee come from? And did you actually trick someone into drinking pee when you were a kid?
That is a guilt face. That's a yes.
Who did you make drink pee? What did you do?
This is a safe place. You can be honest.
You can.
Oh, God. Okay. My brothers. I'm the eldest. Okay. And I have three brothers. Two of them, my siblings I grew up with from the same mom and dad. And I have a third brother who I didn't know was my brother until I was an adult. And he's my father's son. My father didn't know that my father didn't know that he had a son, that he sired a son when he was a sophomore in high school.
Oh, wow.
It was a thing that he had no clue about. And the child had no clue until his 40th birthday.
Oh, wow.
That he was, that the dad who was so horrible to him growing up wasn't actually his biological dad, which is why he was so horrible to him.
Oh.
So when I say in my books that I have two brothers or three brothers, in this particular book, I was talking about, so my half brother, I'm not meaning to disparage him at all. He just wasn't involved in this. Okay. Because I adore my half brother. He and I are very close. All my brothers and I are close. So
he didn't get to drink the pee, so that's fine.
He wasn't
safe.
involved.
He's safe for
He
right
wasn't
now.
involved in the pee thing. So I used the middle names of my two brothers, and there was this time when we were out at, I must have been maybe 5, maybe ish, or 6 maybe, and my brother, who's closest in age to me, the one that is Linus in the book, he is 14 months younger than I am. People always think we're twins. And he and I, and then my other brother, whose middle name is Glenn, he is about 3.5 years younger than I am. So he was real little. So we're out at the barn where my parents kept one of we had some horses out at someone else's barn before we had property of our own. We're leasing them. And we were always thirsty. We were always thirsty when we went out there. And the Linus brother and I got together one day, and we were always told to stay away from the house because we were leasing the barn area, and no one wants 3 little kids running around their house like a Sunday morning or whatever, whenever we were out there. So my parents were always real cognizant about, you guys, you can go play, but don't go play on the owner's house, that kind of stuff. So we were out into mischief and found some kind of glass somewhere. And we were always like thirsty. We were kids. We always, can we have a drink? Can we have some meat? That kind of stuff. I'm not sure who started it. I think it was me. I told my brother, the Linus brother, I told him he should pee in this glass. and then we should make our other brother tell our other brother lemonade and tell him to drink it. And we did. And he did. Oh my God, it'd be so much trouble if that brother, the brother who's the Glenn brother, if he sees this, okay, he's still sensitive about it today. And he's like, I'm 62, so he's, what is he, 58 or 59, 58, 59 or something, and 58. He just had a birthday too, but he drank it and then told our parents, and we got in a lot of trouble. As well we should have, but it is a kind of a standing joke. The Linus brother and I are very naughty together. To this day, we're very naughty together. And we used to gang up on the Glenn brother a lot, and because he was mom's favorite, you know, and how you do with the youngest one. And we used to make him do all kinds of stuff like, you go ask mom if we can have some ice cream right now or we're going to kill you. But because it was more likely she would say yes to him. Okay. And we all came down and had ice cream. So, but to this very day, and the Glenn brother, the Linus brother, the one who was in on the pee thing with me, I told him I put that in there, and the Glenn brother reads all of my books. The Linus brother can't, because he says it's like his sister is talking to him the entire time he reads my books. But the Glenn brother reads all my books, always has, reads all of them, voracious reader, reads all of them, big fan. So he's going to read it. And the Linus brother is like, you are going to be in so much trouble. So I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. He's ordered it, and I know he's going to pick it up pretty soon, and I'm going to be in trouble.
You need to send him some lemonade. Some cloudy lemonade.
It would be so funny.
Oh my God, the Linus brother and I have had so many jokes about this. He'll like send me glasses, a picture of the glasses of watery orange juice and go, refreshing morning piss.
Hey, that stuff will set you up for the day.
Perfect.
And then his son, one of his sons is a doctor she's chief resident of a big hospital right outside Oklahoma City. And so when all these Trumple idiots are like taking horsewormer,
oh
and
my God, they're
really
enjoying their ivermectin,
right? And so that Dr. Cast was so now Dr. Cast is in on the pee joke too. And like I tried to like a few months ago, I almost cut my finger off accidentally, and I sent a picture of it to Dr. Cast, and I was like, so just tell him this was all during the horsewormer drink pee to get rid of the Rona bullshit.
Yeah.
And I sent a picture of it to him, and I said, so do I drink the urine to make this better, or do I dip the finger in the urine to make it better?
It's not it's Windolene. It's window cleaner.
It's window cleaner, right?
It's a common mistake to make.
Oh God,
you tell me,
love it.
oh, do both, it'll be fine.
Long story short, that's why I don't have a finger anymore.
I dipped it in pee to heal it.
So it's a real thing, and I'm going to be in a lot of trouble when he reads that, and if he ever sees this. May I just say, I love you, Toddy Watt. Okay?
Thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you for your sacrifice for fiction.
Thank
okay?
you.
We'll
We
never do it again. And you know what? It was Brad's idea, not mine. So yeah, a little side note on a whole lot of the time when you're reading my books, if my character's siblings do something, especially if it's something that makes you laugh or something real crazy, it usually happens
real.
in my childhood.
Oh my God, I love that.
And I just shove it in a book somewhere.
I love that so much.
So much.
Okay.
Okay, so speaking of beverages, let's move away from the pee and back to the red wine.
Yes,
Good.
we need to know about your favorite red wine, but we also have to be mindful of our time because you don't
Yes,
have very
because
much
I
longer
am a
with us.
grandmother and I have to go pick up the Precious, my grandson from school
Yes.
today. And we are going to eat, we're going to have pizza. So that is, yeah, we're going to go have pizza. We're going to have vegan pizza on Mississippi Street in Portland. And then we're going to walk around and while his mommy and daddy have a date night.
Oh,
lovely.
that's
I have
fun.
to be on time to pick up the child from school.
That's fun.
So red wine. I like really big, I like them to look like Old Blood. They need to be, they have to be real rich and real, just, I mean, they have to have lots of legs when you turn around and they're, I like cabs, and I also really like Italian reds, big Italian reds.
All right. And then I think following from that, we have to have a bonus Would You Rather, and it's the apocalypse, and you have to choose wine or weed, and you can only choose one because the other doesn't exist anymore.
Weed.
Weed. Okay.
Yeah, and there's a reason for that. Because weed doesn't hurt your body.
Yeah.
And if I, during apocalypse, all the wine, it's gonna, what do? I have to find Gemma to heal my freaking liver. Okay? What I would do with it. And not only that, if there's no more wine ever in the world and there's just weed, there would be a lot less anger and a lot, if you smoke weed, if you're high, you don't want to go out and do anything violent, for God's sake.
More weed, less religion.
Yes. Ooh, that sounds like a good shirt.
Right? Yes. You just want to sit on the couch and perhaps have an in-depth discussion with someone.
Yes.
That involves a lot of laughter.
That's perfect.
And cook food.
Yes.
I've got the munchies just talking about it.
I know. Me
right?
too.
So yeah, that's it would be sad to lose wine.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
But it's easier to grow more weed. The weed production is a little bit easier, especially if you can prick your finger and your blood can help the plants grow.
I don't even need to do that to grow weed because I grow weed every year. And my weed is like, I play in music, I talk to them, just like my whole garden. I get like 12-foot tall weed with this long buds on it. I got it. I have the whole thing down when it's trimming time, when it's still on the plant. I play Motown and I'm out there trimming weed with a glass of wine. It gets through your fingers. You get kind of high. It's great gardening.
It's really,
Great
really
gardening.
great.
Yeah.
I have to ask one thing. I'm just taking it for myself. There was a name drop of the character who was growing weed at Timberline, and that character's name was Amanda, and that's me. I'm claiming it that you wrote that in for me. I'm just gonna claim it. It was me. It was me.
You just take that.
I am.
Just take that.
I am. It's me. I was in a PC Cast book. It's me.
I heard it here first, folks.
I don't care if it's real or not.
Now I'm gonna have to add a just a kind of a random Brit somewhere too.
You are.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, it's been great fun as always, you guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
We love you more than you know.
I love you too.
So that's it for this bonus episode of Fictional Hangover. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Claire.
Join us next time as we discuss Etiquette and Espionage by Gail Carriger. Look out for our Would You Rather polls on social media. Don't forget about our book club and monthly challenges on Facebook. Be sure to visit our shop on Redbubble at fictionalhangover.redbubble.com for all of your favorite Fictional Hangover themed merchandise, and become a patron of ours on Patreon at patreon.com/fictionalhangover. Until next time, remember, the only cure for a fictional hangover is another book.
You can find us at fictionalhangover.com, follow us on Instagram at fictionalhangover, Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Fictional Hangover and on Twitter at Fictional Hangover, no ER. If you'd like this episode, check out our others and rate, review and subscribe so you don't miss out. And finally, special thanks to Liz Emerson for our music. You can find her on Facebook and Patreon. Thanks for listening.